So there's no way Justin Gaethje is going to beat Rafael Fiziev this weekend, right? Well, that's what I was thinking before I did my proper homework, and I found some stats and some fight examples that have changed my mind. There's 3 stats I want to pay most attention to in this matchup because it's going to be a striking battle, and that's significant strikes landed, significant strikes absorbed, and overall striking accuracy. So when I began looking into these stats, my mind was blown because I picture Fiziev as a high-paced, violent, crazy fighter, right? Same as Gaethje, but the stats are wildly different between the two fighters. So the significant strikes landed per minute for Gaethje is 7.45, and his significant strikes absorbed per minute is 7.85, with a striking accuracy of 60%. So I'm going to leave those numbers on screen because they're important to compare directly to Rafael Fiziev's. Fiziev, on the other hand, his significant strikes landed per minute is only 4.81, absorbed per minute is 4.86, and his overall striking accuracy is 50%. And these stats are the average of all of their UFC fights. I'll dive deeper into that in a second so you can see that these are a really good representation of their average. And the only time Rafael has ever broken out of his average there is his fight against Bobby Green, a fight that went to split decision and he arguably lost if you rewatch it. But we'll come back to that in just a moment. So when you think about Justin Gaethje, you know he's a violent show, a high-paced, crazy fighter who loves to get in wars, but he doesn't get enough credit for the actual volume and pace that he fights at. He literally is almost double the pace, both landed and taken, than Fiziev through his entire career. And Justin has also been able to make every one of his opponents in a striking match fight at his pace. So it makes sense that if Justin wants to get this fight up to 8 significant strikes landed and absorbed per minute, he can very well do that. So like I said, Fiziev has only ever had to go outside his 4.8 range once in his entire career against Bobby Green. So I looked even further into that matchup, and this is where it got even more interesting. You'll see here that Bobby Green actually outlanded and was more accurate than Fiziev in rounds 1, 2, and essentially tied round 3. The first thing to take note of here is Fiziev's movement. He moves quite a lot and does quite a lot of feints, right? But only ever strikes when he finds the perfect range moment. Now look how Bobby Green was able to manage that this fight. Every time Fiziev was in range, Bobby was able to use little attacks, a jab, a leg kick, while remaining very defensively sound to stop the motion and stop the plan of Fiziev. You have to remember, Fiziev is somebody who likes to throw some punches just to see a reaction to later plan the perfect KO strike. We're going to dive more into specific Fiziev footage in just a moment, but the main point I'm trying to make here is Fiziev is the type of striker who likes to do crazy knockout setups. That's why he doesn't throw quite as much as a Justin Gaethje. But in a fight where he was forced to throw more, it gives that type of fighter a little less time to plan and use those traps and setups. So if Justin Gaethje keeps up his normal pace, which he's done his entire career, that will be nearly double the pace that Fiziev is used to. So remember how Bobby Green was having success throwing at the same time, waiting until Fiziev thought he was at the perfect range moment to throw his own strike? Well, guess what? Justin Gaethje loves to do that. It's his bread and butter. You can see so many examples of it throughout his career. I know Michael Chandler and Rafael Fiziev are very different fighters. Chandler is not the most technical striker, but I think this matchup is the closest recent one I could find to Fiziev. So the first round, Justin landed 40 of 77. The second round, he landed 38 of 60. And the third round, he landed 38 of 46, getting more accurate every single round. Fiziev versus Bobby Green, the only fight on his UFC career that's close to the pace that he's going to fight with Gaethje here, this is what he did. He landed 25 of 62 his first round, 36 of 82 his second round, and 43 of 79 the third round. Nowhere near as accurate as Justin Gaethje percentage-wise, and also less strikes total than Justin landed, when the overall fight volume and pace in that fight was even more than Justin's average. So my point being that I'm really driving home with these numbers is 2 things. Justin's used to a higher pace fight than Rafael Fiziev is, the numbers show that, and Justin is able to be more accurate in a higher pace fight than Rafael Fiziev. Again, the numbers show that. So when you hear Justin Gaethje at the press conference talking about how him and his coach have this masterful plan to make this look easy, I think this is what they're seeing.
What are you expecting from Rafael on Saturday?
I'm expecting a fight that's going to blow the roof off this fucking place. He's the perfect dance partner. It's exactly what I dream of when I dream of stepping in there. No, I think with the coach I have, we got a great game plan. We're going to control everything. Control where this fight goes, where it stays. And I'm going to cause damage like I always do. I've never stepped in there and not put my hands on anybody, no matter how elite they are or were.
You gotta remember, he's used to 5-round fights recently besides his Chandler fight, right? The fact that he only has 3 rounds, that's even more cardio that he has to release than he's had in his last few fights. And this being only a 3-round fight, Justin just has to outstrike and outvolume Rafael for 2 of the 3 rounds, which Rafael is shown to be extra slow in the first 2 rounds. I can guarantee you all are thinking, oh god, like nobody else has pointed this stuff out. And I know, right? I'm glad that I have this channel to be able to say this stuff to you. But now that I've seen this, you can't pick Fiziev with the same level of confidence. So Rafael Fiziev, he likes to set up KO shots by getting into the striking, learning what his opponent's going to do, sort of like a Petr Yan in the earlier rounds, and then letting them come into traps while he gets his crazy KO blow off. That's his style of fight. So take a look at Fiziev versus Riddell. Look at this engagement here and look how Riddell circles off. Fiziev is downloading this information and uses the first half of the fight to just get a whole bunch of this information in his system so he can get the KO shot on you. All of these punches he's doing right now are just to see what Riddell's reaction is going to be. He doesn't really throw that much volume in between, and that's where Gaethje's success is going to be. Notice how he feints the jab this time to get Riddell to circle off, and then boom, here comes the crazy KO. So the real X factor in this matchup is how is Justin Gaethje's chin going to be able to hold up to the significant strikes absorbed that Rafael will land on him? Because Gaethje has been finished earlier in his career against Poirier and against Alvarez. That's obviously the most scary part of this matchup. I don't think it even needs to be said. But let's say Gaethje's chin does hold up, just like Bobby Green's did. If Bobby Green can hold up, I think we agree Gaethje has a chance. So if it does hold up, he continues at his pace that he does all of his career, and he outlands Fiziev for 2 of 3 rounds. We're now in the 3rd round. Fiziev is down 2-3. Maybe it's close, but viewers at home know bettors of Fiziev are sitting there shitting themselves. Can Fiziev get the knockout in the very 3rd round? It's possible, but let's not kid ourselves and act like that's a foregone conclusion. And on top of this, let's not forget that Justin has fought way tougher competition than Rafael Fiziev has so far in his career. Now that being said, I do think Fiziev is absolutely legit. I think he's such a big threat and such a dangerous opponent, but styles make fights, right? If you get Fiziev against someone who doesn't fight at a crazy high pace, I think he's gonna beat almost anybody in the division. But as we saw against Petr Yan and Merab in a completely different way, when one fighter's pace is here and another fighter's pace is here, you can make this fighter completely forget how to fight. Like they just don't know how to time their setups, they don't know how to get their reads because they don't even have time to think about it. And that's Justin Gaethje's way to win this fight. He's got to come in there, high pace, land just a bit more than Fiziev, just like he does in majority of his striking matches, for only 2 out of 3 rounds. I think he could even do it for 3 out of 3 rounds. That's what the numbers show. So like I said at the beginning of the video, I was ready to pick Fiziev, and now after watching this video, I want to know what you guys think. Do you think Justin Gaethje should be a plus 185 underdog in this fight? The only reason it's like this is because you have the young prospect, known to get tons of knockouts, going up against the guy who's fought for the title, lost a couple times, taken a lot of wars. That narrative is going to drive some crazy odds like this, but my god, Justin Gaethje is such a live underdog in this fight. You cannot be sleeping on him anymore after this video. I think it's going to be a great fight. Of course, Justin can get chinned. Maybe he has taken too much wars and maybe he will fall down and lose this fight. But I think I've laid out a pretty clear argument and clear pathway that Justin Gaethje winning this fight and making it look easy is absolutely a real timeline and real possibility we might see on Saturday. But at the end of the day, we're going to find out on Saturday, and that's why we love this sport. This one's like throwing 2 Beyblades in an arena. They're going to bash each other a bunch of times, and we'll see who's left standing. If you guys enjoyed this video, again, consider subscribing. We're the new channel on the block and we're trying to take over the MMA scene. And also leave a comment. Let me know what you guys thought of my points. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Do you at least see what I'm saying? Even if you're going to still pick Fiziev, I bet you're a little bit more worried about it. I have more fight week content on my channel just like this one. So now that this one's done, check out this video here.